I probably should start talking right when it starts loading, because it doesn't tell you you're live right away. It says you're live long after you've been live. See, it just jumped from 4 seconds to 12 seconds. But welcome back. This is going to be kind of a weird episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill, because it's not really going to be conspiracy based, but it's going to be more politics. I might have should have changed the background a little bit, but I didn't. So you're going to have to forgive that, because it's going to be relevant. The background's fine. This is it's going to be more of a political chat though, because I don't. I guess I'll start with where I stand politically. The reason why, and the reason why I stand that way. Politically, I believe Bernie Sanders is the best option moving forward. And I believe that because of the momentum behind him, the idea behind his campaign, and how the whole purpose is to create a political revolution to move forward and reclaim our country. Now, the reason why I believe that that's so great is because that's what needs to happen. You have to move forward united. You have to demand and stand united to get anything to change, to make any real change, to make anything happen. You have to be involved. You have to go out and fight for it. So I like that he is spreading that message. And I think he can win. I think a lot of Republicans will vote for him, as well as a lot of Democrats. You know, I just really believe it's the best way to go. I believe it's our best shot. But I'll explain why I believe that more as we get talking about this, because the reason why the conspiracy theories and chill background is relevant is because I am the conspiracy guy. I am aware that our government is a rigged and corrupt system, especially our electoral system is a rigged and corrupt system. So why would I, someone that is well aware of that, believe that we can vote our way out of anything? That's a really good question, and a lot of people will tag me and stuff. Like, I got tagged in some stuff last night bashing Bernie Sanders. You know, I don't understand shitting all over your very best shot at moving forward. Aren't we trying to move forward? I I get that your feelings got hurt. A lot of people are mad at Bernie Sanders because he did not sacrifice himself and ruin his career and eliminate any chance he would ever have of running for president ever again and throw a tantrum the way people wanted him to. Now, yes, the 2016 primary was rigged, but I don't think Bernie Sanders was involved in rigging that primary, and I think if you do, that that's ridiculous. And I'd love to hear your arguments for why you think that. You're just mad at his reaction to it. So he didn't react the way you wanted him to. And for that reason, you feel like he's a sellout and he's corrupt now for whatever reason. And he betrayed your ideals because he didn't sacrifice himself. And I say sacrifice himself because you have to understand what the media would have done to that man. And you need to really, and it's important for everybody to fully understand how important and how dangerous the media is and how influential they are. They may not be influential over you, but you have to understand we need more than us. It's all nice and great to be one of the woke and to feel like you understand things, and that's great. But you got to understand the average person does not. and is not. So, we need them. We need them to round out our numbers. So we're fighting the media, whether you're watching it or not. I changed, sorry, I'm getting an alert that my video resolution needs to be changed, and I changed it. I don't understand. I'm still figuring out YouTube. I like it better than Facebook, mostly because of the quality. If you ever watch the YouTube video versions of the Facebook Live show, because I archive all my episodes over on YouTube, there's so much lag. The picture and the audio doesn't line up at all ever. Now, sometimes it messes up over here, but it, for the most part, is a lot smoother over here, and the audio is a lot better over here. Um, for some reason, it has a more balanced sound to me, anyway, and that's just me noticing little details. But I like certain things about YouTube. But so that's why I believe. And wait, I haven't fully answered it yet. Why do I believe we can vote our way through a rigged system? Why do I believe that? And and more importantly, why do I believe that we should be supporting Bernie Sanders when he got cheated out of a primary and didn't throw holy hell tantrum that he was cheated and it was rigged? Which, yeah, I would have loved for him to storm out of that convention center and take his supporters with him and try it, but it wouldn't have worked. It may work now if they rig the primary again and I can't see him laying down twice. The man is 77 years old. There is no do it again in 4 years. You see what I'm saying? This is the last straw. I understand that he signed the agreement to back the Democratic candidate, but if they screwed him over again like they did in 2016, I, and I'd bet on it, don't see him laying down and taking it this time. I do see him storming out of the convention center this time and taking his supporters with him. That's how I see this playing out. And, that's a gamble. I understand. But I don't have any faith that we'll rise up any other way. So, do you see why I feel like Bernie Sanders in this political revolution is our best shot moving forward? Because I feel like this is something that we will do. I just feel like Americans are so spoiled and so misled and so brainwashed and so indoctrinated and so fluoridated that we'll never do what we need to do. We'll never hit the streets like what you're seeing in France. What you're seeing in France is beautiful. If you haven't been following the Yellow Vest protests in France, you definitely should be. It's, I believe, in the 23rd or 23rd or 24th week that it's been going on, and it's a huge protest nationwide. Millions of people, and mostly peaceful, no matter what, because you're not hearing much about it on the mainstream media at all. They're not reporting on it much at all. But what you are hearing is misleading and lies. Like they don't they don't let you know that it's actually very large protest and it's succeeding. It's doing well. And incidents of violence are actually very low. And most of the time, probably the result of provocateurs, which are often sent into situations like protests, rallies, to cause shit. But let me answer the second question that I have written down. Why do I feel that Bernie Sanders is our best shot moving forward? Because we need millions of people standing united in order to get real change. We've already established that. Now, Bernie already has a huge movement in motion. That's why I feel like he's our best shot. We're running out of time. We don't have a whole lot of time to do something about what's going on. There's not a whole lot of time left to save this country, to turn things around. Those in power and their greed know no limits, and they will devour and destroy everything. They don't care. They'll take it all. If we don't stop them, and you can't stop them without a unified movement, and Bernie's already got that in place. You see what I'm saying? The two people with the biggest following and the biggest backing right now politically are Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders. And I think Bernie Sanders has a much bigger backing than Donald Trump. I think a lot of Republicans who swallow, and bite the bullet and vote for Donald Trump because he's a Republican, and that's the only reason why they're voting for him. They don't want him to be the president. They would vote for Bernie Sanders. I know of Republicans that would vote for Bernie Sanders. I happen to live in a red state. And I know there are people that could be convinced to vote for Bernie that are unhappy with Trump. But Trump has a very large following. You run a corporate stooge like Joe Biden against Donald Trump, and he will lose. It will be a replay of 2016. I guarantee it. And Bernie knows that. I think Bernie knew it in 2016 that she didn't have a very good chance of winning, that the media was lying. The media, I can't bring up the media without having a sour taste in my mouth, but you can't believe anything you see on the mainstream media. This bullshit they're doing with manipulating the polls in Biden's favor currently, which they will continue to do, this will be an endless battle with this media. Which is why it's so important for us to be the media. You know, I I would much rather just be a stand-up comic and just do my regular work and that's it. But I feel like I need to spread the truth. You know, I can't do nothing. I can't sit on my hands. And the only gift I really have is I'm comfortable speaking and knowledgeable about history. And things are playing out and have played out exactly as designed for a very long time. And the fall of America is part of that designed, preordained plan. We're running out of time. The planet's running out of time. What do they say? We got 12 years before we hit critical status. What the are we waiting for? You know? That's why I believe that this is our best shot moving forward. And we have to understand that electing Bernie Sanders president is just a small victory. That's not the end of the job. We have to continue moving forward united and stay vigilant in order to actually get any real change. We just elect Bernie Sanders president and go back to sleep. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. You want to beat Donald Trump. If that's what you want. You want to guilt me because the ones that do believe in politics on my social media sites are bashing me that you should vote blue no matter who. Well, I feel like that's fear. That's coming from a place of fear, and it's ignorant. You shouldn't vote for just anybody. Especially, this is the primary process. We're supposed to be selecting the best candidate to best represent us. You should never vote blue no matter who. You don't, that's, I won't tell you how to vote, but I will tell you to at least vote informed. Don't just vote and be on part of a team. I don't care what team you're on. If you're a Republican, that's stupid too. But vote for a person, vote for ideals, vote for things that you want and believe in. I'd much rather vote for something that I want and not get it than vote for something I don't want and get it. You see what I'm saying? And that's what they do, is they play on your fear. They try to convince you, if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you're going to get Donald Trump. I don't negotiate with terrorists. I don't want to hear that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? We don't have time to mess around. We cannot go back to the status quo. We cannot have somebody like a Joe Biden or even a Kamala Harris. Um, keep naming off shills. There's 20 of them running in the Democratic Party right now. And I include Elizabeth Warren on that list. The only candidates worth voting for at all are Bernie Sanders, Mike Gravel, Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi doesn't have the name recognition or the momentum behind her, I don't think, to win. I love Tulsi. I think Tulsi would make a very good vice presidential candidate for Bernie. Mike Gravel, love Mike Gravel. I suggest following Mike Gravel on Twitter. You will love Mike Gravel. If you like people exposing and pointing out corruption and bullshit in politics, you will love Mike Gravel. You need to follow him. But he'd be great to have in the debates. I would like to see him on the debate stage. So, and Tulsi too. You know, I want their voice out there on the debate stage. I think that's all very good and important. We need those three people and their message being heard over that corporatist, elitist, loving, we can't have anything, we can't accomplish anything, be happy with what you got bullshit that you're going to be sold during the debates. We need three voices up there saying you do deserve better, you are entitled to more, and the people that are taking from you are not your neighbors, but the wealthy elite. And we need those three up there spreading that message. So if you can kick a buck to Mike Gravel, that's all he's asking. And, you know, that'll help him raise enough money because it's all about donations. That'll help him raise enough money to get on stage in the debates. And kick about 5 to Tulsi. But I recommend, even though it's a rigged election system and all of that, I recommend donating to Bernie Sanders and supporting Bernie Sanders as much as you possibly can, being as involved as you possibly can, because this is our best shot moving forward. It's our best shot to actually change things. It's the best shot to actually improve society. And the momentum is there, the name recognition is there. We're not going to get a better opportunity. So you need to fully immerse yourself, even if you've got so little faith left that we can actually do this politically. You got to get involved and you got to fight it this one last time. I'm begging you to do it, because it's going to take a lot of people that are dedicated to wake up enough of the masses and to convince them to turn off their fucking TVs and their idiot boxes that are brainwashing them and actually inform them. It's going to take all that. It's going to take that work, and we need as many woke and vigilant people involved as possible. So, and I'm hoping I'm explaining why I believe that voting is a way to go at all in general, and why I believe our support needs to be behind Bernie Sanders. Because I'm tired of explaining it over and over again to individual people, and I want to just share this video every time that I have to have this conversation. Because show me a better plan. You know, I always ask people that. Anytime someone's debating with me that, oh, you're stupid for supporting Bernie Sanders. Don't you know that our elections are rigged? You're such a fool. Ha ha ha. What's your idea? What's your better plan? You got to have a better idea, right? I mean, you think my idea is terrible. I hate that. I hate when people want to tell you that your idea is bad, but they don't have a better one. You know, tell me what you want to do. Tell me what you think we should do. There's people that go on and on and on and on and on every day about how voting is stupid and you're just giving your consent. If you vote and participate in the system, you're just giving your consent to the beast. And if you vote ignorantly, if you vote blue no matter who, or you just vote Democrat, yeah, you are giving power to the beast. But if you were informed and you actually paid attention and you actually did your research and you voted that way, that would have power, that would have real power. The reason why we're weak is nobody does that, and we're not united, and we're all divided up and bickering, and we can never look at the bigger picture so that we can actually accomplish something. We always got to fight and bicker with each other. We can't stay focused. You know, and there's a quote from Men in Black, and it's a great quote where Will Smith is asking Tommy Lee Jones why we can't just tell people. Why can't you just tell people? People can handle it. And he's like, no, they couldn't. A person could handle it. A person is smart, but people are stupid, dumb, panicky animals. It's true. In large groups, we're idiots. And we love to break off into groups. Then you get in this groupthink mentality. You can't think for yourself. It's ridiculous. And it's dangerous. It's definitely not helping anything at all. It's not helping us have any real progress. And if people aren't going to do that, then you're right. We can't vote our way out of this because that's what it would take. It's going to take people being vigilant and informing themselves and looking into their candidates and holding people accountable. It's going to take all that. And if we can't do that, then we can't. We can't move forward politically. And we are wasting our time. And we need to be pushing for some kind of other revolution, like what you're seeing in France, and forgetting about politics. But if we're going to forget about politics, we have to have another plan, because it can't be to sit on our hands. Can't just do nothing, because these psychopaths are destroying the planet and our world and our country. We're spoiled. On a grand scale, we don't experience what's really going on. We don't feel the pain because we happen to live in America. We're spoiled. We live in the bully country. We're the muscle of the New World Order. We enjoy that privilege. A lot of people feel the pain of our military. We enjoy the benefits of it. So we're protected from what's really going on in the world, and that's dangerous. And if you don't see why, I got to try to explain it better to you. You need to be concerned because it's eventually going to be our turn. You see what I'm saying? Right now, we're not feeling it, but our system is built to collapse. Our economy is built to collapse. Our dollar is built to collapse. It's all by design. The system isn't broken. It was built this way. It is built to fail. They're going to milk it for all it's worth and all they can get out of it, and they're going to cash out. And where's that going to leave us? We need to start thinking about that before they cash out. But I'm open to new ideas. If you got a better idea, you want to tell me that voting is stupid, or you want to tell me that Bernie Sanders is a sheepdog and he's a con man and he's robbing people of their money and it's stupid to support him, back it up. Explain it to me. And you're going to have to do better than he didn't sacrifice himself after the 2016 primary, because the media would have ate him alive if he had done that. So you're going to have to do something better, come up with something better than that. Or make that make sense. You show me how he gets around the corrupt media in 2016. He may have a chance to do it now. He's got a lot more power now. You don't That's another thing you really weren't taking into consideration. He closed what, a 60-point lead on Hillary Clinton, went from an unknown senator who hardly anybody knew of to a household name in politics. Now that's where he stands now. It's not where he was. Then there's a much better chance that there's a stand taken this time. And if there isn't, if it doesn't happen, if he folds up, I'm done with politics. And I won't encourage you to fight for anything like that anymore politically, because I'll be encouraging you to do other things, to rise up, to get involved locally. But this is a golden opportunity we're being presented with. We have a hugely popular candidate that we can throw our support behind, that most people can respect, and has morals and values that line up with most people. I agree with the man, not all the time, but about 85% of the time, and that's about as good as you're going to get. So you have a huge movement and a huge momentum behind this candidate. We need to dive in deep. This is where we need to make our stand. You know, not going to get a better shot than this. And if we blow this, then that's it. I'll never support politics again, because this is our only opportunity. I don't see us getting a better one than this. For real change, for real progress, I don't see us getting a better opportunity than this. And it scares me. I'm terrified that we're going to blow it, because I worry that people aren't realizing how big this is. This is huge. Because we're running out of time. Clock is ticking. They're going to cash out, and we're going to be fucked. Our enemy is about 100-something people. They have names and addresses. We can list them off. They're crippling and destroying this planet, this country, this world, this humanity, and we're allowing it. You have to stop allowing it. If you're woke, consider yourself woke, you need to spread the truth. You can't just be running around, I'm woke, I know everything. You're silly, you're stupid, you believe in this and that. You need to explain to people why they do, and you need to take into consideration they are heavily indoctrinated and brainwashed. And you can't just talk to them like any kind of way. You're going to have to break through a lifetime of top class, world class propaganda, world class indoctrination, and world class brainwashing. We have the best. Trust me, we've perfected that shit. But the whole point of this feed was that I feel like this is our golden opportunity. We need to embrace it. We need to grab a hold of it for dear life and move forward united. Because I don't believe that we'll ever get another shot. Not just another shot like this, but another shot at all. I think this is our last chance. Hey, Al Angel. How you doing? We're talking about the political revolution and why a truther, a conspiracy guy, someone that's woke, would even believe that we could vote our way out of a rigged system. So I've went on and on and on and rambled and told you why I believe that we can. So and why I believe that we need to, and why I believe it's our only chance. And the reason I believe it's our only chance is because, like I said, I don't have faith that Americans will actually rise up the way we would need to. You will not see a yellow vest protest like you're seeing in France in America. I don't believe that we will do that. I would love to believe that we would do that. I just don't believe we would do that. I think we are far too docile and far too controlled to ever rise up like what you're seeing over there. The only way that we'll rise up, and I think you could get us to take a stand, is politically. And I think our best shot is Bernie Sanders' movement. That's where I'm putting all my eggs. And that's what I'll be talking about for a while. So if you are into that, you'll have a really good time watching our shows. And usually Conspiracy Theories and Chill is not a political show. We don't talk about politics much on there, but I need to, because I'm worried that we're going to blow this. We're being handed something that we're never going to get again. We're never going to get this again. If we blow this, that's it. So, Al Angel says everyone is easily offended, and I hope he wins too. I think he has a very, very good shot. Now, like I said earlier in the feed, I think you just got here, but I do believe they will rig it again. They are already rigging it in the media. They are already using their weapons of mass deception, the mainstream media, to rig polls and rig results and rig perception. They're already doing that. And I honestly believe that they will rig the primary the same way they did in 2016. I wouldn't put it past them at all. I just think, well, I think a couple things would happen if that happened, or have the potential to, which is why I think it's good, even if that happens. So if that happens, we have, again, a second opportunity to do something about it. Now, a lot of people get their feelings hurt when I say that it was our fault that they got away with that. It was our fault and our acceptance of it by consent. Now, I know a lot of you are like, I never accepted that. I didn't consent to that. No, you personally didn't. But when I say we, we're talking about the masses. You have to have the numbers. So when I say we, I'm talking about people in general. Yeah, there was a lot of people that are to this day furious, but your average person accepted it. Al Angel says, I would have been here earlier, but YouTube won't let me know when you go live. That sucks. Yeah, it probably has a lot to do with the conspiracy content on my channel. They are suppressing that. You know, truth is dying. So if you're into stuff like this, unfortunately, you have to seek it out. It's getting harder and harder and harder to find anything real in the age of deceit, which we are well into the age of deceit. But we failed, and this would give us a second opportunity. If we allow two elections to be rigged 4 years apart, I got no faith in us. You know, so it's, in another way, it's a human experiment. I'm wanting to see. I'm calling our bluff. There's no way that we allow that to happen twice. Really? Can we really allow that to happen twice? We're going to allow two elections to be rigged in this country. We're going to allow the same candidate who has a larger following this time than he did last time. We're going to allow that twice? That'd be hard for me to believe. And if we did allow it twice, then by standing up by the millions, united, and demanding that they honor your wishes. That's the only way you stop them. We have to overwhelm them. Now, Bernie already has massive events. He already gets a very large turnout. We already put on a good show in that way. But we need to help people understand that you have to have a show of force. We have to show force, show up in numbers, in masses at different events. And we need to stay united in that way. We need to realize that it's going to take personal sacrifices on our behalf, not only financial, where we give money, where Bernie Sanders' campaign is completely funded by regular people. They like to throw around the numbers like, okay, Bernie raised, what was it, $6.1 million on his first day. Beto raised 6.2 and Biden raised 6.3. What they don't tell you is Bernie raised his through 228,000 regular people. Biden and Beto, you could probably count well, I was going to say on your hands and toes, but it wouldn't be much more than that. Individually, each one, they could count on their fingers and their toes how many donors it came from. So what you're talking about is we've already got people understanding you need to dig in your pocket a little bit and get involved financially, but we need to also realize that we have to get involved physically as well. We have to get out in the streets, get united, show our support. Like a better response, and I'm guilty of this too. I wasn't able to go, but a better response in Philadelphia would have been millions of people. I don't know how old you are, but in '76, I believe, it was flooded with people. It would have needed to be something like that. We there was thousands there, but it wasn't millions. It wasn't even hundreds of thousands. He had no army. The man's got to have an army. If it had been a sea of people, there would have been a better chance to make a stand. But that's what you're going to need. If it gets to the primaries again this time, you need to request off for work right now for the primaries because we need to be there. That's what it would take. That's how we can stop them. And that's the only way. So if people won't do that, again, we can't do this. It's not an easy fight. I just feel like it's our best chance moving forward. I don't see a better path, and I also don't see us getting a better opportunity. But it's going to take a lot of work. You know, Volunteering, doing what you can, you know, doing things in that way, spreading truth, being the media, and physically getting involved when there's protests and rallies and things like that to get involved and be there. When there's a Bernie Sanders rally in your area, even if you can't get in, be there. Just make it a sea of people. Make a show of force anytime you can. That's what we got to do. It's the only way any real change will ever take place. If millions of us stand united and demand it. So I don't. I'm beating a dead horse at this point. I just wanted to make sure that I made myself clear on why I believe in that. Because I get attacked a lot for it. Because I talk about what's really going on in the world and people will attack me. They'll be like, well, how can you know these things and believe in this political revolution where you got to be some kind of idiot? No, it's just I believe this is humanity's best shot moving forward. Do I believe we'll succeed? I believe we got a shot. We got a good shot. I want to believe we will, but we need to realize that it's going to take a lot more effort than we've ever put forth before. They're not just going to hand this to us. They're going to go down kicking and screaming. And if we don't show up in overwhelming numbers and take them down with force, we'll never get it. We'll never take them down. We'll never win. I just feel like this is our absolute best opportunity and best shot to do that. Al Angel says, but that's a physical presence. All the strings are being pulled online. Yeah, and a lot of deception is going on online. I don't know if that's what you're talking about or not, but Google is responsible for a lot of it. Like if you Google Bernie 2020, you get a Biden ad. It's the very first result, and it makes it look like it's a Google result. It's very misleading. And then if you search Democratic candidates, it starts with number 2 and leaves off Bernie Sanders from the list. You have to click the link to find out Bernie Sanders is the front runner. There's all kinds of little things going on, and there'll be more shenanigans. I don't know if that's what you were talking about, but the media, I include Google in mainstream media. Google is a big enemy right now, especially an enemy to truth. Unfortunately, they have a huge monopoly over information and media because Google owns YouTube. You want to know why YouTube's having their views, their stance on conspiracies and why they're getting rid of stuff. They're owned by Google, and Google is the one going to war with anything that defies the narrative. Do you know Google's CEO was on record saying that he wants it to be where when you search something, you only get one result. He feels like there should only be one answer to your question, the accepted answer. You shouldn't be able to seek out and compare and research for yourself. That's from the head of Google. That's terrifying to me. You know what I mean? I don't want to live in that world. And that's the world that we're heading for. We're heading there very rapidly, too. It's scary. And I feel like I'm on a plane that's crashing, and this revolution that I'm seeing is our best chance to pull up, try and do something to save this. But it's going to take a lot of work. It take a lot of effort in order to build any real momentum and affect change in the way we need to. So it gives me hope in humanity. Horace Ross says Google priorities fake stuff. I'm not sure exactly what you were trying to say there, but Google is. I'm trying to stop using Google as a search engine at all. I've started using DuckDuckGo. That's just the favorite that I've found so far. I used Bing for a little while, and now I'm using DuckDuckGo. But it's they have a monopoly over the audience. So, they're going to be the go-to. They are the flavor right now. When your average person who is the one we need on board, when they go to search something, they use Google. So, that's who you're up against. What do I think of scarcity? I Is that a YouTuber or are I'm needing more information on that one. I haven't heard that one or enough. That's not ringing any bells in my head. But let's what do you guys want to get into? I've been beating a dead horse. I've well established that I feel the political revolution is our best way forward. And I also believe it's the only way to beat Donald Trump. If you run a corporate candidate against Donald Trump, he loses. Donald Trump wins. So, but, you know, I get it when people are mad and they think politics is all theater. I get that because in a large part it is. But that's, again, scarcity of food, rooms, and resources. Oh, okay. I think a lot of that is manufactured. Um, I believe that there is enough, and that greed, immense greed, is the reason why people go without. It's not that there's not enough. It's just that there is a few hundred people that are so greedy and suck up everything and just steal from everyone. And they've created this scarcity. But they don't see it as a problem because they feel like we're parasites and they want to kill a large number of us off anyway. So they don't value us, but it's manufactured. If we really were a society that took care of each other, and we wouldn't have any of this, and there is enough room and enough resources and enough food for everyone. It's just hoarded, and wasted and misdistributed. But I think a lot of that's on purpose too. You know, they're wiping people out by starving them, wiping entire cultures out by starving them out, keeping things from them. Nestle's trying to make it where they own all water, all water. Nestle wants to own all water. And they don't believe that water is a human right. You cannot live without water. So if water isn't a human right, what is? You see what these people think of you? They think nothing of you. You know? And these are the ones that are sucking us dry, killing us all slowly, creating this scarcity that, you know, Horace was talking about, creating this pain and suffering all over the world for the benefits of a few. And we're going to have to stand up to that. And we're going to have to stand up in some way. So I see this as our best shot. If we blow this, then I won't have any faith in politics at all anymore, at all. And I'll be on board with you. I'll be right there with you that we need to burn the whole system down. And in a way, this revolution could be a way to do that. Especially if they rig the primary again. You know, if they have the nerve to rig another primary right under our noses again, it has the potential to tear their rigged system to the ground. But let's see. Is there anything you guys want to talk about before we wrap up? I've been going on for a while, and I think I've well established why I feel the way I feel. For anybody, there's been a lot of people giving me trouble about it. They don't understand. They give me all kinds of different trouble, whether it's over Bernie directly, why I would support Bernie Sanders because they're butthurt, and I think that's mostly what it is they're just butthurt. They didn't get the result they wanted. They're not even willing to listen or try to understand why. They're just mad. So they won't reason in anything, and they're just acting like spoiled children. There's that whole group. And then there's the group that's like, why do you believe in voting at all? That's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's all just a show and it's to manipulate the population. And to a large part, you're right. But this isn't voting. This isn't voting blindly. Voting blindly is what you're talking about, I feel. This is voting with purpose. And that's something that we don't normally do. So, Horace says resources are being misused massively, disgustingly. The things that go on in this world in the name of greed are demonic. They're evil. And these people that are doing it happen to be demon worshippers themselves. You know, there's plenty of examples of that. I ran myself out of cigarettes, and I don't like using the vape pen. I think I'm going to open one of the wife's cigarettes. And Owl Angel says, "Do you have Facebook page to follow?" I do. Um, I don't have a link to give you, but it's me on the picture, the profile picture, and my name is Shawn, SHAWN, Yankee, YANKEY. So if you search me on there, it's me in the same hat. So you'll recognize me right away. And send me a friend request or follow me on Facebook. And then, because I want to get to a point where I'm doing these feeds simultaneously, where I'm doing it to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. But right now, I don't know how to do that. I'm figuring out YouTube, and I do it on Facebook. So I've been doing a bunch of them lately because of that. But I like doing these. Actually, a friend of mine is talking about putting together a website and starting our own little media channel. And I think that sounds very exciting. You know, I'm very excited about that, and I would like to see that get off the ground. But so there's a lot of stuff coming up. Horace says politics intervene with every aspect of our lives while people say stop talking politics, right? You know, it controls everything. Like I had the people that give me trouble about it. One of them, one of the ones I respect the more, his opinion more, anyway, says to me, for example, you know it's all bullshit, Shawn. It's just Oz behind the curtain pulling the strings, and they're just trying to distract you. Don't look at the wizard. And I'm like, okay, I get that. I get that, but you gotta pull the curtain back. That's what's allowing it to happen. You know, we're not exposing what's going on. And whether you know it isn't important. The masses need to understand it and be aware of it and know it. That's what you need. That's what we don't have. We're not past the tipping point. Yes, there are a lot of people that are awake. Yes, there's a massive awakening taking place that's been going on for a long time, but it's not reached the tipping point. We're not at a place where our numbers are so strong that we can become complacent. We're not there yet. You know, we're a long way from there, actually. I hate these. They're menthol, but I'm trying to get into the vaping, but I can't. It just, I choke on it. And then I don't know, it don't feel the same. Well, let's see. Anybody got anything that they want to get into before we wrap up? While I wait for an answer to that question, I'm going to ask a couple questions that I asked during the Facebook version of this show Friday night. And that has to do with the moon. And I'm asking it here because I really want an answer. So maybe somebody that's watching can answer this for me, somebody smarter than me. But I have two questions about the moon. The first one has to do with the Tycho crater. Now, you know how on the moon there's that piece at the bottom looks like a tie off of a balloon? You know where you tie a balloon? It's got a little pinch. That's the Tycho crater. And you can see that with your naked eye from Earth. That crater is only 53 miles across. When I found that out, it blew my mind. The moon is 250,000 miles away. How am I seeing a crater that's only 53 miles across? That's crazy. I don't understand. Why can I see that clear as day? And speaking of clear as day, now, why can I see the moon during the day? I never really questioned it or thought about it. I've always thought it was cool, actually. I've always been fascinated with the moon. So I always thought it was cool I can see it. But why can I see it? You know, the moon is in the blackness of space, 250,000 miles away. The sky isn't blue. The sky looks blue because that's what happens to our atmosphere when the sunlight hits it, right? That's what you learned in school. So space is blackness. The moon isn't inside of our blue sky. The moon is not inside of our atmosphere, correct? So the moon isn't part of our blue sky. So why am I seeing it? Why isn't it in blackness? These are two very good questions I would really like an answer to. And I'll be honest with you, they came from a flat earth video, but I watch all kinds of conspiracies, and these are very good questions. You know, the Tycho crater only being 53 miles across and being visible from 250,000 miles away, clear as day. Now, you can make out details on the moon, and the moon is 250,000 miles away. You shouldn't be able to do that. That's ridiculous. I don't understand that. Someone needs to explain that to me. And why can I see the moon during the day? But this will be a good episode, we can do maybe in the future. Maybe if I get answers to these questions, or if there's a scientist that watches this and wants to answer, he can come on and explain it to us and help inform us why these two phenomenons take place. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Thanks you guys for checking out the show today. I've just been playing with different times and experimenting with different days and seeing what works, and if it works better during the day or if it works better at night, because I'm going to start doing it on YouTube regularly too. Like I do it on Facebook, but I'm going to do it on my YouTube channel regularly as well. And like I said, eventually I want to merge them and do them simultaneously. But thank you guys for checking out the show, and I'll see you on the next episode. I'm not sure when that'll be because we're still playing with days and times. But thank you, and we'll see you then.